last week. He was picked twice, but both passes really not all his fault. Coming off a season where he threw only one interception all of last year. Here's his line. A lot of veterans on this line. McIntosh with a knee sprain during the preseason. Seeing limited action last week, may rotate with Spitek, and Larry Johnson had only 10 carries last week against the Houston Texans, as he was a holdout for much of the training camp. He's expected to see many more carries today. So here we go from the 18, starting things here with a Larry Johnson run, work in the middle. Tillman comes over to make contact, and it picks up about 4 yards. Manning on the hit. This Bears defense that last week shut down Tomlinson. There's Harris, one of the best at his position. They go from playing LT to LJ. What a linebacking core with Briggs, Urlacher, and Hillenmeyer. According to his coach, Lovie Smith, his best game as a Bear was last week against the Chargers. And Manning starts as Mike Brown lost for the year with a knee injury out at San Diego. Second down and 6. They're going with 3 tight ends, and again another running play up the middle. This one nets only 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 5, and let's get a little philosophy here in the Sim Spotlight. What do you see?
Well, winning with the run, that's all the Kansas City Chiefs are about. Herm Edwards talked about it. Larry Johnson last night says, when I get my 20 carries, that's when I really get loose. That's when I become great. And I think once I get past 20 carries, the Bears defense will wear down.
He says, hey, I've got cold feet until the 21st carry. So pining for a few more attempts today after 10 rushes at Houston. 3rd and 5, and Heward's pass caught very close to the first. It's Gonzalez. They push him back. It'll depend on the spot here. Looks like they're going to mark it out across the 28. Which would be enough for a first.
Damon Heward did such a good job last year directing this offense, and it truly is managing the game. That's what he does. He gets to throw a lot of these types of passes. 3rd and 4 or 5. All right, Damon, pick up the first down so we can run Larry Johnson a couple more times.
Well, again, going with the 3 tight end formation here on first down. Another running play. It's Johnson, and he's tripped up and falls forward for only a yard. Now let's talk a little philosophy from the Bears' perspective. What do you see here?
Well, when you talk about the Bears, Brian Urlacher, let me teach you a little something about him. There is no weaknesses when it comes to being a football player. He's good against the run, but what makes him stand out as a linebacker is he is great against the pass. Can cover downfield. He can cover the short receivers. And terrific tackler, and he's so tall, hard to throw over the top.
Bottom of your screen, you see the rookie Dwayne Bowe, the first rounder out of LSU. But they're going to run it again with Johnson. His 4th carry, tripped up this time by Lance Briggs. Again, only a yard. 3rd and 8 on the way. And they'll send in Michael Bennett as the 3rd down back for Coach Herm Edwards. 9-7 season last year, got him into the postseason after an 0-2 start, which is something they're trying to avoid today. Jeff Webb is brought in as an extra receiver. Little dump pass is Bennett taken off. He's got another first down. Ball's out, but fallen on by a Chief. Alertly recovering. Bennett had picked up the first up the middle, and that is Sammy Parker falling on it.
Really clever play design from the left, top of the screen. They fake like they're going to pick up the blitzer. Then Michael Bennett slips out of the backfield, catches a short pass. It's a safe play, and also it says to the Chicago defense, don't be so aggressive. If you are, we'll take advantage of that, and that's what they did on that last play.
Boy, he was talking about Bennett hammered by Briggs, and the ball couldn't help but be jarred loose. Parker with the big recovery, and the Chiefs keep moving. And that is Bennett. He was almost tackled for a loss, able to scramble for 2 yards before Manning was able to finish him off. Manning actually was at him first, and then he escaped him. We'll give him a credit of 2. And Briggs in on another play on the defense.
Well, you look at this Chiefs offense. Herman Edwards, what did he say last night? He's looking at you and I, he goes, now, Coach, it might get ugly tomorrow. It's you know, when you want to run the football, it's ugly a lot of times, and that is so true. You've got to stay with it knowing you're going to have a lot of runs that do nothing.
He likes that kind of a game. 2nd down and 8. And again, it's Bennett And again, it's Briggs plugging up the middle of that. So just a gain of 2. Herm Edwards and Lovie Smith, great pals. So vastly different in personality, but as Lovie Smith said, at the core, we're the same guy.
Yeah, I like Lovie when he said, you know, Herman Edwards and I are opposites in a lot of ways, and you go, how?
So? Well, I don't want to hit her in his words.
He goes, hit. What did he say?
I think, Jim, it's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious.
Larry Johnson, after sitting out a couple of plays, back in on 3rd down. 3rd and 6. Heward down the middle, tipped by Briggs. So they moved the chains twice, and now we'll be punting it away with Colquitt.
And you know what? The Chiefs are going, good job. They've changed field position. They ate some time off the clock. They're going to back the Bears up, they hope, after the punt. And that's part of playing Herman Edwards or Kansas City Chief football.
So Devin Hester, who had all those returns last year, is a rookie. 6 in all, including that electrifying opening kick return for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. First one ever to open a game in the Super Bowl. Not this time. He's not going anywhere on the punt return. As Kieran Fox tackles him, 32-yard punt, 3-yard return, and Rex Grossman now stepping onto the field. Like the Chiefs, only able to produce 3 points last week at San Diego. The longest drive this offense had last week, covered only 37 yards. John Tate, the left tackle, the 1st-round pick of the Chiefs back in '99. And Cedric Benson, now the featured back with Thomas Jones, a Jet. It's Benson's job last week. Not all that impressive. 19 carries, 42 yards, but he feels like he might be on the brink of something big today. Going to put the ball in his hands right away on a pass play, and Benson out for about 8 yards. That's Pollard on the tackle. We'll give him 9. Kansas City defense. There's a lot of new bodies out there, Phil, on this Chiefs defense. Boone coming over as an unrestricted free agent. The last 6 years he had been a Bear. Good linebacking group. Johnson, Derek Johnson was Benson's teammate at Texas. And 2 second-year players at safety. Page, 2nd year out of UCLA, and the other Pollard just made the tackle after the 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1, and again Grossman throwing. Got his man open. Out to the 40. That's Berrien taking bodies with him. The ball comes out at the end. And are they going to rule him down? Boy, it seemed like they were all over him for a while.
Shouldn't have got rid of him.
So they lose the challenge and lose a timeout. And from midfield, that's Larry Johnson galloping into the arms of Urlacher. And a gain of 4. Now the Bears again turned it over 4 times. Now this is 5 on the season, 5 turnovers, and no touchdowns on the season to this point. This was the killer. This one that brushed McGowan of the Bears, and they had shut out San Diego until 3 minutes remained in the 3rd quarter. And then they gave up a Tomlinson touchdown pass, later a Tomlinson run. 2nd down, we'll call it 6. Dumping it over to Wilson. And they're trying to strip it from him, but Tillman unable to knock it out. It's a gain of 4.
Damon Heward was excited. A pass that's not on 3rd down.
How about that performance, though, last week when you're talking about the Chicago defense to hold Tomlinson to his 2nd lowest output of his career, worst ever at home.
You know, we did a couple Bear games last year, Jim. We did the Super Bowl. The one thing I noticed, I thought when they played very aggressive, in other words, they came up and challenged the receivers and they put extra guys in the line of scrimmage. I thought they played near great, and I saw a lot of that last week, and that's why they gave San Diego fits.
3rd down and 2. Heward looking for Parker, and that was Tillman staying right with him. They held Tomlinson last week to 25 yards on 17 carries.
Because the Bears, all they complained about, we didn't stay on the field against San Diego, so we never got to open up our offense and our playbook.
3rd snap of the game, and this is the first running play after a couple of Grossman completions. And Benson trying a stiff arm, but has his legs taken away by Page. Only a 2-yard gain. All right, from the Kansas City defensive perspective, what do you see here, Phil?
Well, how to beat the Bears. They want to pressure. The pressure is, I think, on Kansas City's defense. They stressed it. They need turnovers and big turnovers to give themselves a chance to win. And Herm Edwards said it many times, we've got to keep this game to within one score.
At the top of the screen, Devin Hester in as a receiver. 2nd down and 8. And they got an arm on Benson just after the exchange. That was Derek Johnson, his old Texas teammate.
Yeah.
Held him to a 2-yard gain. These two go back to high school days competing against one another.
Midland Lee, that's where Cedric Benson went. Midland Lee High School in Texas, and Derek Johnson went to Waco
High School.
What did Cedric Benson say? What did he do against that team?
I think he had the numbers down pretty precise. About 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a W.
For his career in high school, that was not a good day, though.
But then they joined forces down in Austin. Grossman having no chance as is Derek Johnson coming in for the big sack. Coming over from Miami, so restructured but experienced. Heward quickly now able to get that ball into the arms of Jeff Webb. 2nd-year man from San Diego State takes it for 9 yards.
Kansas City Chiefs did this a lot in preseason. He did it last week, and it works well. A one-step drop. Damon Heward just gets the snap, puts his right foot back, and throws the football, that time wide open and right on target. It works because a lot of teams are not doing it. But if a lot of teams start it, defenses get used to it.
Alex Brown on that defensive front now, entering the game for the Bears. Patiently waiting, it's Larry Johnson to about the 45. A couple of yards shy of a first. 3rd and short on the way, running behind Brian Waters.
Larry Johnson, we talk about a big running back by NFL standards, but he runs like a small guy. He's patient, takes his time, but he's able to stop and start and not lose that speed going up the field. And we're going to see it today. We talked to him last night. He can take away a leg from a defender about as good as any running back I've ever seen.
And you call it dead-legging it. And like Jim Brown, 3rd down and 2. Heward trying to take off for it. And inching right on that line. From the 21-yard line, Bears' 3rd possession. Grossman flinging it in the area of Desmond Clark. And the pressure was on the quarterback by Jimmy Wilkerson.
You said something. We were watching all the scores today, Jim. The pressure again on Rex Grossman by Wilkerson. And all of a sudden you look at Kansas City's effort last week and you go, hey, that was pretty good against the Houston Texans, because they scored a lot of points against the Carolina Panthers today.
That's Benson taking off for a 1st down as we welcome so many of you joining us here in Chicago. Some of you saw Cleveland lighting it up today against the Bengals as Anderson throws 5 touchdowns, matching Palmer's 5 on the other side. It reminded many of that shootout back in '04 when it was a 58-48 Bengal win. The Browns with a big victory today over Cincinnati.
Well, I guess Cleveland, they straightened that quarterback situation out quick. Either that or Cincinnati Bengals did.
Jim Nance and Phil Simms, glad to have you here in Chicago. No score as Benson. You saw him burst for about 12, and now another nice running play out to the 41. This goes for 7 more. Got away from Page. We've had 1 turnover in this game. Chicago on its 3rd snap fumbled. It was Bernard Berrien fumbling, recovered by Kansas City. The Chiefs, though, unable to muster too much on the offensive side as well. Both teams coming off opening week losses. Both teams failing to score touchdowns last week. So 2nd down and 3. They send Benson out of the backfield. And there's a Grossman completion near midfield. That's Desmond Clark for 8 yards and another 1st down.
What did he say to us? I just wanted it too much against the San Diego Chargers. So he's going to try to relax today and just let it happen. And even running backs get uptight sometimes.
Quick pass is deflected And that's Benson falling on it. It was an incompletion. It was Derek Johnson, who's already had a big 11-yard sack in this game. And Benson's former friend, teammate at the University of Texas. They were trying to get the ball over here to Hester, Phil.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears on offense. The fact that they no touchdowns last week, Jim. So that's all they talked about. We got to get more playmakers. And Devin Hester in at wide receiver now, trying to find little different ways, screens, quick passes to get him involved.
Lined up to the right side now on 2nd down and 5. And that's right at the 1st down yardage with Cedric Benson. You were talking about how he's been pressing, and he said that, he finds himself sometimes searching for it again. He was the guy at Texas, and then his first couple of years, Thomas Jones had terrific seasons, and he backed him up. So he's a little rusty, if you will, in this now role that's come back to him.
He's like a quarterback that wants to throw it 40 times a game. They say, no, we're going to let you throw it 10. Hard to get in rhythm that way.
Benson on 3rd and short. Looked like he got across.
It's been up on everything and constantly going over what you're supposed to do during the game.
So on 1st down with 3 receivers, he's got his man, and that's Davis inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. A quick gain of 12.
Boy, Bernard Pollard, what was he looking at? He runs right by the receiver. I guess he thought the pass was coming to him. He misses it and allows the Bears to get about 10 extra yards.
Rashid Davis, you get him in the open field.
Well, he's one of the quicker, faster receivers for the Bears, so he can pick up extra yards after the catch.
Westman tosses it now. Benson waiting for the blockers to open up an alley, and they do. Down to the 21. He was waiting for Muhsin Muhammad and Olin Kreutz, and they helped them gain 8.
Well, you said Cedric Benson still searching for it. He comes out. Garza, good job leading the sweep for him. Olin Kreutz pulls out there and gets a good job. And then Muhammad, nice kick, seal block to the inside. And Cedric Benson knows he's got good blocking, can take his time, he can relax, and he picks up 8 yards.
So 7 carries, 38 yards, just his 3rd start. He had 1 start before this year. And now with McKee trying to throw a block, but the Chiefs had a number of bodies over on that side, including Page and Harris. There's a loss of a couple. Benson came on at the end of last season. Majority of those yards, the 647 yards at the end of the year, the last 6 regular season games. In the postseason, he had 2 carries in the Super Bowl game, Phil, for a loss of a yard and a lost fumble. And he got injured, a knee sprain, was taken out of that game in the first half. Adrian Peterson has spelled him now.
Look at all the people up.
3rd down and 4. And that's Berrien holding on after another jarring hit by Benny Sapp.
Well, that was a nice job by Rex Grossman. Just reacting to the blitz. When they get up there like that, every player, there's no way you can block them all. So he knows, take the snap and get rid of it quick. Right on target. That was close. Could have been short of that 1st down marker.
Well, they say it's good enough for a first. Inside the 19-yard line. And Peterson remains the running back. He had a costly fumble last week like Benson, but had good average yardage per carry when he had his chances. And it's back to Clark, their tight end, into the arms of Napoleon Harris, but it gains 7. They keep on moving.
Well, it's just a good job, good play calling, good execution right now by the Bears offense. The Chiefs defense most of the time playing very safe, and so they're going to allow you to throw short passes, and they're just hoping to make the tackle before you can pick up 2 or 3 extra yards.
Benson back into the game. This is the 13th play of this drive. John Gilmore, an extra tight end. Going with Benson. Inside the 10 and down to the 5 is Cedric Benson.
One of the strengths of this Bears football team, especially on offense, is a veteran, older, talented offensive line. That was a terrific job by the center, Olin Kreutz, and Reuben Brown hitting the guy, getting off of him, hitting the next player, and allowing Cedric Benson to go forward.
So a goal to go situation now. First down from the 5. Go with the hot back. Off right guard, and he gets more than halfway there. I like when you said to Benson, how would you describe your running style? I mean, what do you think you can do? And he said, Phil, I can do it all.
I can do it all.
I can do it all.
I like it between the tackles. I'm big, fast, powerful, very confident. Knows he can, or thinks and wants to show everybody that he can be a big-time running back in the NFL. And believes he could be playing professional baseball, too.
He was a center fielder in the Dodgers organization. They brought in John St. Clair. He's an eligible receiver on that line. Second and goal. Benson, nope. Play action. Open man. And that is the man we said was eligible, John St. Clair. The backup left tackle catches the touchdown. The Bears' first touchdown of the season goes to a backup offensive lineman. We've got bonus coverage for those of you who've been watching Oakland and Denver. That game right now is in a delay because of lightning. And here Heward has his pass knocked down by Ogunleye. Jim Nance and Phil Simms on the scene here in Chicago. There is a flag. Mike Carey correcting things. And a major shift to the left side for Damon Heward and the Chiefs. Larry Johnson able to squirt to the 25 in a gain of 6. Here is the touchdown just a few minutes ago by the Bears. John St. Clair, backup tackle.
You know what he did really well there? He kept his eye on the ball. You watch that big head, number 78, and you could tell if he turned it too quick. He did not. I can imagine what he was thinking when he went to the line of scrimmage. How nervous was he? He go, oh my gosh, they're going to throw it to me.
3rd down and 4. And trying to get it over to Johnson, and it falls at his feet. 3 and out for Kansas City.
Yeah, that's Damon Heward's fault. He just never got his feet set or got in position to throw it. The first down is, they're going to pick it up. It's a screen play to the right. They've got him blocked inside, and Larry Johnson would have gone down the field and got about 10 yards, which would have been plenty enough for a first down.
Hester trying to shoo away a pigeon. That's what he was doing, running toward the sideline. That's now 3 consecutive 3 and outs for Kansas City. They had a couple of first downs on their first drive, taking the opening kick out to about the 45, but nothing since. As Hester now has a break. Here comes Hester inside the 50 and down the sidelines, and the burst, and he is gone. 73 yards, Devin Hester. From the 31. And Larry Johnson with a quick meeting with Darwin Walker for a loss of a yard. Here is some beautiful block at the end of this, Phil.
It's Colquitt, the punter.
Watch how far Jamar Williams takes him out.
Oh, he just gets.
Oh man,
that's not nice.
That's not a pancake. That's, what is that? Beyond it. Still getting a lot of care on that bench. Heward with the short toss to Gonzalez. Picks up 7. This week, Dave's got Richard Gere, Ellen DeGeneres, Tina Fey, Venus Williams, plus tomorrow, don't miss it, Matt Damon. Only on CBS. Dave, all week. So the Chiefs looking for a first down. On 3rd and 4, break a long stretch where they've been on and off the field quickly. That's Parker, and he is pancaked. He is knocked down by Tillman short of the first. 4th and 1.
It's like the mentality of the Bears, it's changed. As good as they were last year, I know it's only one game and a little over, not even halftime of the second, but their philosophy, they're more aggressive, nearer the line of scrimmage, and they're attacking offenses.
Now the Bears come out to the 25-yard line with 7 minutes to go, second quarter. They come out throwing. Underneath the coverage, it is Clark. Good for 9. College football on CBS next week. Steve Spurrier and South Carolina take on the Bayou Bengals of LSU. That's next Saturday, 3:30. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson. And the pregame show, the college football today with Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman at 3. Next Saturday, SEC on CBS. Second and just a yard. Again, it's Grossman to a tight end, John Gilmore this time. They're saying from the Bears bench that Alex Brown suffered an ankle injury, and it's doubtful he'll return today.
Well, one thing, I tell you, Rex Grossman talked to us yesterday. That last play, maybe that's going to illustrate the way he is going to play football this year. He had a chance to go down the field. He didn't get tempted as much as he would have last year, I think. Took the short receiver, which was wide open, keeps the chains moving, and gets another first down.
All right, they put Hester back in on offense, and they look his way. Now they go to him and right through his fingertips. Trying to get him more active now and get the ball in his hands. Hester, who was a backup DB last year, coming to camp this year, and they're trying to work him in as a wide receiver like long ago in your era, Roy Green of the Cardinals.
Yeah, you know what, Jim? Sometimes you just can't force it. How many times today have we said, don't look for the big plays, just let them happen in this. So when you try to force a guy into an offense, you try to create this role like this, especially for a wide receiver, it's tough. Almost caused a turnover.
Second down and 10. Peterson out of the backfield, takes it, looking for the move on Johnson, does it. The zigzag got him, and he picks up the first. A gain of 11. Derek Johnson was waiting for him, and he had to make a move to escape the linebacker, and what a beautiful move it was.
It was. The Chiefs, they retreat in coverage. Quick decision by the quarterback, Grossman, and look out.
A hip and a hop and a first down, Adrian Peterson. And Benson comes back in, and they return to the Kansas City into the field. Grossman's hit 7 different receivers, but not Muhammad to this point. Benson breaks the first tackle, and then again it's Derek Johnson halting him after 4. Got a little supervision, a little sim supervision of that move of Peterson.
Oh, that is a terrific move. When you can go sideways, which a lot of these skilled players can nowadays in the NFL. Look at that. Directly sideways and then going forward. And it just gives you more, reaffirms what you're trying to do. Don't take a chance and let your good skill guys, that time it was Adrian Peterson, take a simple play and get the extra yards.
Benny Sapp down here on Muhammad. And second down and 6, pressure. And Grossman got away from Ali. Able to fire it downfield and hits his target. It's Berrien with a block. What a block it was. Berrien has it down to the 23-yard line. That's Muhsin Muhammad, who came up to deck one of the Chiefs, and it goes for 21 yards.
Second time this year. Watch Rex Grossman. Tamba Hali almost knocks it out of his hands. He doesn't because he had 2 hands on the football. It allows him to get away, escape, and then find Berrien down the field wide open. Last week against the San Diego Chargers, Rex Grossman was ripped again with the football, but he had 2 hands on it, and he did not fumble.
That was Patrick Surtain, who was flattened by Muhammad, and Benson stopped quickly by Napoleon Harris.
You know why I bring that up, Jim? It's so important for a quarterback because you never know when you're going to get the pressure. Keep 2 hands on it. That's when you fumble, and Rex Grossman made a point of working on it this offseason with his new quarterback coach, Pep Hamilton. And you know what? When you work on it all the time, it becomes you. And now that is part of Rex Grossman, just keeping his hands on the football.
Yeah, committed to muscle memory. That's what he talks so much about with us this week. It's just proper execution and mechanics. He's looking to fire again. No, and through the arms of Rasheed Davis. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Well, the Chiefs, they're already out of their comfort level on both sides of the ball.
I said earlier, Palmer, by the way, in that game had 5. He tossed 6 touchdowns in a losing cause to Cleveland. You see the fantasy leaders. Lewis over 200 yards. He broke 66 for a touchdown. And Steve Smith caught 4 touchdowns for Carolina, but that 2 in a loss. That's not right. He had 3 touchdowns. So now from the 20 on 3rd down, and pressure again, and Derek Johnson has a 2nd sack on the afternoon. Dirk Johnson to hold it. Gold to kick it, and what a beauty it is, and he hooks it home. 17-0 Chicago. Forcing them to do things they don't want to do. We approach the 2-minute warning here. Hewitt in the pocket now. Got a man open. It's Wilson. Wide open. Past the 30. Past the 40. And galloping near midfield before he is bounced out by Manning at the 47-yard line. 31-yard gain. Hewitt operating from the gun at the 48. And it's Larry Johnson. And that's a good gain. His best gain of the game. LJ quick 10 yards there for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's his first carry of 10 yards in the last 3 games. And you go back to the playoff game against the Colts, and then last week he had not had a rush for 10 yards since the last game of the regular season last year. Now Hewitt fires it from the pocket. And that's Gonzalez. And finally ridden down by Manning at the 15. Reaching up high and over the arms of Hunter Hillenmeyer for 27 yards and a timeout called. They're at the 16, their deepest point of the day. Hewitt lofts it back of the end zone, and it is caught. What a catch by the rookie Dwayne Bowe.
He's thrown it to Tony Gonzalez, and Dwayne Bowe cuts in front and takes it away.
He seals it as an out-of-bounds kick, so it goes out to the 40-yard line, and the Bears can do something here before the half. Trying to cross him up with a running play. We got a flag here. Heard a couple of plays back.
Took a big hit.
Yep. And here's the pass over to Peterson, and he's bounced out by Ty Law.
But I want to go back to that kickoff real quick, Jim. Look what it does. When you try to kick away from a returner, you can kick it out of bounds. It breaks down your coverage. It really just goes against what you practice for all preseason. And the same with punting. Try to kick it away. You kick it out of bounds. What do you shank it? It goes short. And it's just another way of giving the opposing team, like the Bears, good field position.
All about trying to keep it away from Hester. And now the Bears are back in Kansas City territory as it's Adrian Peterson with another grab and another 9 yards.
Well, they'll tell you, Rex Grossman doing a good job.
To Dwayne Bowe. Now the Bears with 1 timeout on the 43-yard line. And Grossman deep down the field for Berrien. Underthrew him, and the ball is incomplete. Almost picked by Jared Page. So 2nd down and 10. Looking for a screen over to Peterson, looking for the one-handed catch. And as Patrick Surtain had a read on it anyway, so it falls incomplete. That's better off for the Bears.
You know, the Bears were throwing those short passes and just getting 8 and 10 yards a clip. I know they were trying to go for the score, but the first thing you want to do is at least give yourself a field goal chance. They probably need close to 10 yards to get a shot at kicking a long field goal.
Got to think that they need to get around that 31, 32-yard line. Gold's career long again is 49. 3rd down pass is deflected. That's Derek Johnson. What an active afternoon for Johnson with 2 sacks first.
I don't know if you got a computer.
In my head, here's Larry Johnson, and they do go with the round game. Oh, the ball's out. The ball is out, and the Bears say they have it.
Oh, my, that is just...
So they try to go conservative with a run that they thought would cross them up. Hewitt, though, wants a quick play. See if he can get anything going. Back to Larry Johnson. Urlacher, though, rides him down from behind, and the half is here. The end of the first half, 17-7 Chicago. In the Chicagoland community, congratulations to the Bears and this World Sports Humanitarian Hall of Fame. Very special and growing. And something that if I was one of these athletes, I would think that would be about as great a Hall of Fame as you can make. Be elected to. And here comes Benson with about a 6-yard run and showing some speed here and rhythm for Benson. Benson saying a little more about what you talked about in that first half, about how he was pressing. And you asked him about when he's pressing, what does that do? And he says, it's, I'm just trying so hard that I end up using my brain and not my instincts. You're starting to see a little more instinctive type play here by Benson?
Oh, absolutely. I think running backs, they can come in the NFL and have instant success because it is just they feel it. It's instinctive.
It's Benson. Muhammad had someone right on his back, and there's the flag. Ty Law. You see 50 picks in that time frame. Ty Law so long the Patriot. First down after the 15-yard step off, and that's Benson. Tried to make a couple of moves, but unable to wrest free from Patrick Surtain. It's a loss of 2.
When you want to play safe on defense is what the Kansas City Chiefs want to do. Your corners, Patrick Surtain that time, Ty Law on the other side, they have to be very good tacklers anytime the football comes outside. And if you don't get that, then you have to change your defense and you open yourself up for big plays down the field.
Sets him back to 2nd down, 12. Benson comes out of the backfield. McKee, the fullback, remains there to block as Muhammad has his first grab of the game. Muhsin from Grossman, who hit a bunch of different targets in that first half.
Yeah, he did. He did a really good job. Rex Grossman said to us, I have to be patient, especially early, and you're playing a team like the Chiefs. You want to do that because you don't want to give them momentum. And except for the last couple of throws of the first half, I thought he played the position about as well as you can play it. When they were open, he hit them.
He hit 8 different targets. 8 different receivers now that Muhammad's in the column. 3rd down, though, and Grossman flings it to the sideline, and Davis was the intended receiver. Penalized team. They got 6 today. No penalties against the Bears. So they start from the 6-yard line, and Johnson able to only gain 2 yards. Urlacher on the tackle.
It was interesting talking. Damon McIntosh coming out again, left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. Didn't play in the preseason.
Knee sprain may have re-aggravated it.
Yeah, 2nd time he's gone out today.
Will Svitek will take his position. 71. There he is. 2nd down and 8. Bears defense ready to pounce. Heward flips it over. Wilson maybe back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Ridden out by Hunter Hillenmeyer. Comes off a 15-tackle game against San Diego. Hillenmeyer.
Just look at this, though, Jim. Look at the way they're playing defense. Everybody near the line of scrimmage. Only one safety back. They're just daring you to try to hold the football and throw it down the field because they know if you do that, their pass rushers, which are very good, will get to you and cause a bad play.
So it's 3rd down and 9. And they run it. Not going to make any mistakes. That's what they decide. Only a 1-yard gain for LJ. Ricky Manning Jr. on the tackle. Tommy Harris also. And Colquitt will be forced to punt near the goal line.
Yeah, they're just saying the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to put all the pressure on their defense.
Another 3 and out for Kansas City. That's now 5 times today. Jean-Philippe Darche is the long snapper. Colquitt standing 7 yards deep in the end zone. Hester, he's got a chance to get a little running start. There he goes. Hester to the 30. One more move to the outside, and he's down at the 19. Wow. I thought we might have a second return in the game, but it's a beauty. And the Bears, after that 30-yard run back, position in the red zone.
Well, I think he feels it, that's for sure. Cedric Benson said to us, I just got to get in I want to feel it out there. Devin Hester is exciting and so quick.
Look at Adonijay, one block. Israel Adonijay and Hester, a 73-yard return for a touchdown in the first half. A 30-yard run back to set him up at the 19. Grossman. Dangerous pass that time. And a flag. And Grossman hobbling. It's also a flag in the backfield. Last Sunday at San Diego, Sean Phillips came in.
Untouched.
Said it was definitely the hardest hit I've ever taken. You know, I like sometimes to take a little early hit just to get me into the game.
Get some contact.
But please, never again like that.
Well, we talked to him on Friday, and you asked him something. He says, yeah, my neck's still sore from the whiplash of the contact.
Got first and goal, just inside the 10. Takes to Benson, flipping it over to McKee. And that's Law reading it all the way. Nice play by the veteran. Bringing a different package now. Davis and Berrien return to the lineup. You know, out a tight end and a fullback.
Jim, the one thing I was going to say, Rex Grossman, he talked about his mistakes last year, how he's trying to improve as a quarterback. And he said to us, he goes, last year I made my mind up sometimes underneath the center where I was going to throw it. The ball would be snapped. The defense would change. That's where mistakes came from. He says, this year, I'll wait till the ball is snapped to make my mind up.
Well, they're going with a running play, and they back up Benson. A loss of a yard. Donnie Edwards coming up. Man who returns to Kansas City, where he started his career and then spent the last 5 years in San Diego. He told us last night how good it is to be back.
Well, that's right. And the defensive coordinator is Gunther Cunningham, who he attributes to letting him get in the NFL. He says, I came in the league, a little skinny linebacker. They saw something in him, and they found the role for him, and here you are 12 years later.
Gunther believed in him. Said he's the first guy to say, hey, you can do it.
You can do this. That's right.
So he's reunited with Cunningham. Peterson comes into the backfield for Chicago. They're backing up now 2 consecutive plays. It's 3rd and goal. Grossman going underneath. Won't get them there. Davis takes a big wallop by Benny Sapp. And that'll bring out Robbie Gould. Some didn't like that contact. You see Reuben Brown mixing it up with Napoleon Harris. But no flags.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. The offense number 57. 15-yard penalty. Dead ball foul.
Just made this is on Kreutz. Field goal try would have been from 23. Now it's going to be a 38-yard try.
Well, here's the hit is legal. It's fair. Trying to jar the football loose. He's still up Davis, so they're attacking the football. Nothing dirty, nothing wrong right there. And then the Bears offensive lineman trying to pick up for their wide receiver leads to a penalty.
And leads to Gould now. Again, 38-yard attempt from the left hash mark. Robbie Gould is good. Got to give it to the Chiefs, though, after that big return and a roughing the passer penalty. They do not give up the touchdown. They're still within 2 scores. Other than that, a lot of short series. Hewitt to Wilson. And Lance Briggs had him wrapped up. You know, the Chiefs this year are wearing a patch. There it is, the old AFL logo with the initials, though, LH. This was really the symbol, if you will, of the Super Bowl IV team. They wore this patch. The team, Hank Stram, where he won the Super Bowl over Minnesota. And they wear the patch now in honor of the great man Lamar Hunt. Passed away here in the last year. And no chance for Heward. Look at that Chief, but quarterback, and that Bear explosion. That's Briggs bursting through.
Lance Briggs on the blitz, times it perfectly. And that's what blitzing is all about, is spacing the defenders out and then timing the snap of the ball so that the offense has so little time to react. And Lance Briggs, that is a big play.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
They're just not going to play it safe, the Bears defense. That's what's making it tough on Kansas City, the attacking defense.
Alex Brown has returned. He had an ankle sprain in that first half, and that's Bennett running it. Punting time. Also update time to James Brown. All at NFL.com. Little play action work here. Grossman was thinking long, now has to unload. That was Wilkerson giving chase to the quarterback. Bodies tangled with Donnie Edwards covering up Adrian Peterson on the sideline, and you see ice applied to the left wrist. Damon Heward, you have to think it was on the Lance Briggs blitz. Well, the very next play, look how tender he hands it off here to Bennett.
He switches hands and puts it in his right hand to hand it off.
Heward has completed his last 8 passes. It's Peterson shaking off a block or tackle. Ball popped out, but right back to him. Goes for 8 yards.
That is a nice run by Adrian Peterson. The Chiefs, they guess right. They have the defense, the linebackers coming that way. Olin Kreutz just pushes Derek Johnson a little bit. That makes him run past Adrian Peterson. And then good hustle from behind by Napoleon Harris.
Well, he couldn't afford, talking about Peterson, another fumble after the one last week that was so crucial late in the game against San Diego. Greg Wesley is in the secondary for the Chiefs. There's the pass to Clark. Almost horse-collared there. He's dragged down from behind by Pollard for 5 yards and a first. Let's go back to James Brown. Update time.
Hey, Jim and Phil, take a look at this excellent defensive play. Kevin Williams coming in to sack J.T. O'Sullivan, the backup for the Lions, getting out hurt. Ray Edwards picks it up and takes it 9 yards for the score. Vikings, 3rd defensive score of the season, all tied at 17. Jim and Phil.
Thank you very much. They made some up some ground there in a hurry. They were down 10, talking about the Vikings. And the defense, which is a good one.
Kevin Williams, inside defensive lineman for Minnesota, is one of the best.
First down and 10, and intercepted. The Chiefs come up with it. Applying ice to. Now completed 9 in a row as he hits Webb on the slant.
Let's look at Rex Grossman's interception, Jim. It's a screen pass. Watch Rex Grossman. Here he is. He's going to fall back, and as he falls back, it makes him throw the football even higher than he wants. He wants to make sure he gets it over the defensive lineman, but when you're throwing screens as a quarterback, your footwork is just as important then as it is when you're throwing it down the field. And Napoleon Harris rolled a strike.
He's trying to hit Garrett Wolf, the rookie running back who had just come in, trying to get it into his hands. Larry Johnson for only a yard. Tommy Harris stops him there. Let's go back to James Brown in the studio.
Oakland trying to make it a game, Jim and Phil. Take a look here. Josh McCown wanted to play despite being hurt. Hooking up with Jerry Porter. Wide open Jerry Porter. 46 yards to pay dirt. It is now 17-10 Denver. Late in the 3rd. Back to Jim and Phil.
All right, thank you, JB. So McCown able to go today. A lot of speculation on that all week that it'd be Culpepper. There's LJ on 2nd down. That's Urlacher. He gets away from him and darts out of bounds near the 28. Pushed down by Tommy Harris. That goes for 6.
Well, we're getting later in the game. Is this the point where Larry Johnson says, you know, they got to wear down on defense? And he was looking forward to playing this defense. Brian Urlacher, so fast, misses the tackle because they're fast. And he goes, when you play fast defenses, they over pursue. But it hasn't worked in Larry Johnson's favor so far today.
3rd down back is in. It's Bennett. 3rd down and 3. Heward, another slant play and another first down. No, they say incomplete. Webb did not hold on to it.
Little unlucky.
And again, it was a play where they had just brought in the rookie speedster Garrett Wolf.
Yep.
We had heard they wanted to try to get the ball in his hands, and
3 times they tried to get it to different guys. Devin Hester and the Garrett Wolf in all 3 plays have been bad.
They all backfired, particularly the last one. Here's Hester. Hester's free again. Here comes Hester down the sidelines. He's got one man chasing him, and Hester is gone again. There is a flag. There is a flag. Back at the 24-yard line.
Coaches never listen to the players right in the middle of the field.
And no doubt that was a significant hold.
Yeah, it was a hold. It was a takedown by Rod Wilson. He didn't have to because Devin Hester was going to run right by the guy anyway.
It looked like it had gone for 95. And here comes Benson barreling out there. Ball out at the end. Hey, you better pick it up, Cedric. Didn't make a real aggressive effort to pick it up.
Well, they're calling it down now.
I think he must have figured he was down. He's groggy. It's Benson. And he dives to the 30, a gain of 2. Ali on the hit. You don't want to miss the new show that has everyone talking. One critic says Kid Nation is the most intriguing and potentially the most socially relevant new reality show of the season. Kid Nation premieres Wednesday at 8/7 Central on CBS. I'm glad there's a socially relevant reality show. And Kid Nation, a lot of buzz about it. You've already predicted it's going to be huge. From the 28, it's Grossman. Wide open man is Berrien. And he just bounced out at the 40. Gain of 10. Move inside of 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, Herm Edwards has put a lot of pressure on this defense today. Just keep stopping them. Keep doing it. Get us a turnover. And the pressure's on them again. Not only can you stop them, but can you stop them before field position is changed so dramatically.
And that pass well wide of the mark. You may notice the field here at Soldier Field looks a little worn down. They had a USA-Brazil soccer game last Saturday.
Yeah, who won?
On the field. You tell me.
No.
Brazil won it something like 4-2.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You know who scored the goals?
You know, no.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say
Second down and 10. And Benson working that middle. Third down coming up. Third and about 4. Next week we've got regional action on CBS. San Diego against Green Bay. The Packers now 2-0 after Favre threw for 3 touchdowns today. He needs 3 to tie Marino, 4 to become #1 all time in touchdown passes. JB, Dan, Shannon and Boomer and the coach. Coach Cowher next Sunday at noon will lead it all off here on CBS.
Well, they haven't blitzed in 3rd and 5 or less much today. Will the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, come after Rex Grossman? The answer is yes.
As here they come, and he never had a shot. It's Harris again, riding him down, rodeo style.
As they're not touched and running directly at your quarterback.
From the 27, pass on the slant. It's Bo. And that'll be the last play of the quarter. Soldier Field, Jim Nantz, Phil Simms. Bears lead at 20-10. 2nd and 4 for the Chiefs. And Larry Johnson grabbed by the ankles by Anthony Adams. Only a gain of 2. One of his old teammates from Penn State making the tackle. Adams. Chicago winning the time of possession battle after last week having it for only 22 minutes, lowest in the league week 1. Kansas City has missed on its last 8 third down attempts. They bring in Michael Bennett. Flip it to him in traffic. Bouncing out. Looks like he's got the first. Speedtech helping clear that left side.
Yeah, between the formation and the quick snap count by Damon Heward, it allows the Kansas City Chiefs just barely beat the Bears to the punch. And good hard running by Michael Bennett. Know the situation and get the first down. Well, every first down, it's just such work for this Kansas City offense.
It feels like such a huge win to get one. Heward just able to get rid of it.
Receiver is right by the football. He almost hit the running back. Bennett that time.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The ball's in the vicinity of the back.
Just as you said, so now second down and 10.
Watch the running back as he comes through. Like misses the block. Damon Heward sees him and throws it right at his feet. Good job by Damon Heward avoiding a sack, because you can tell, you've watched this game, hard for them to make up the yards if they have a negative play.
Urlacher was about to get the sack. Here they come. They toss it. Yep, the screen to Johnson. And he twists into Chicago territory at the 47.
That is a good call. The Bears getting a little nervous or antsy, so there comes the pressure. And it's the screenplay is the perfect call against it. Let them come. The blocking down the field that allows Larry Johnson. And that's what you want to do as an offensive lineman. When you go down the field on the screen, Casey Wigman that time locked up right with the defender.
Wigman once a Bear. He took out a couple of them that time. Picks up 14 yards. Then Michael Bennett in the slot to the left. Hopping back onside was Anderson. They still got the flag down, though, as Wilson makes the grab.
Was last week. Helped the Bears stay in the game.
A little play action. Try to freeze the defense. Going long. Looking for Bo. It's over his head. Gonzalez was down there in the area again. Maybe they just run in tandem. Gonzalez like to take away one from the rookie next time.
From the outside, Dwayne Bowe does get by the defensive back, Nathan Vasher, but Nathan Vasher with the speed. I talked about it earlier. I saw it last year late in the season. The Bears corners, nobody talks about them too often, but they can play man-to-man against just about any receivers in this NFL.
Tony G. Gonzalez has not caught one in the second half. 3 in the first half. Second down, and that's wide of Wilson. This Kansas City team, you look at the roster now, it's a pretty interesting mix. A lot of new faces. They have, according to Herm, the second most 30-year-olds on the roster, but the youngest team overall when you take into account all the 53 and the practice squad, the top 60 players, particularly new faces on defense. 3rd down and 5. Looking for Johnson again, trying that pass the right side. Urlacher unable to get off the block, and Johnson finds the first down mark. Again, it was Wigman, just as he was able to do on the left side. Clears things on the right side, and Johnson has another first down.
Yeah, they ran it early this time. Good footwork by Damon Heward, gets it. And Larry Johnson, just the way he kind of drags along, it's just such a unique running style. We haven't seen it today where he can pull his leg away from the defenders. But for being big and a tall runner, he can just go forward after contact.
Johnson is out. It's Bennett in the backfield. Back to the quarterback. Looking long, looking for Bo. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City, but a flag is down. One of those perhaps game-changing penalties.
Oh, absolutely.
Could have been a 3-point game. Heward now with pressure, able to get free and throws it to Webb, who's ridden down by Manning. Down 10. They're wrapping Larry Johnson's leg on the sideline. They run it with Bennett, and the Bears converge quickly. Adam Archuleta and Brian Urlacher. Double teaming on the tackle. So there it is. You know, they got an interesting situation with Priest Holmes on the PUP, and after 6 weeks they have to make a decision on that Chief legend trying to make a comeback. 3rd down and 9. Bennett hopping to the outside, and he gets it just inside the 30. Again, they'll call on Rayner now to try to bring this down to a 1-score game. Be about a 48-yard try.
Brian Urlacher, number 54, reading the play, comes along, gets around. Oh boy, gets around the block by Casey Wigman and just makes a big hit. We talked about him early in the game. He can do it, run, pass, whatever defense you call, he's good at.
Rayner has made it already from 45. This is 3 yards longer. This to bring it down to 7. The ball is blocked. Grossman applauds. 69 for the Bears. Second down play. Grossman looking for the sideline. Open is Muhammad, and he drops it. Reaching in was Surtain to knock it loose.
The blitz made Rex Grossman throw it a little softer than he would like. And Patrick Surtain, he is beaten. And Muhammad, oh, he just drops it.
Yeah, he just dropped it.
Patrick Surtain, he was going to go right up in the middle of it and knock it out. Here comes the blitz. Nice job of getting rid of it, right on target. And sometimes as a wide receiver, when you see the football about once a quarter, this makes it hard to get in rhythm and make catches.
Brings up a 3rd and 8 from the 40. Good protection this time. Pass picked off. Pass is picked off by Donnie Edwards. And the Chiefs are back in business. All week long, all night leading into the game, and Larry Johnson is in the backfield. And LJ takes it on the toss, waits for the area to clear, picks up a couple yards. So Grossman's been picked twice.
Yeah, he's been picked twice now. Look what he started with. It was going his way, just like he talked about. And since then, been rough.
For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Chiefs and Bears. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. 20-10 Chicago lead, but the Chiefs are threatening. And that's Parker. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where you'll see it at your normal time.
Damon Heward is playing the exact game that you saw him play almost every time out last year. And really, he played this same game last week against the Houston Texans. He had 2 interceptions that were meaningless in the outcome or anything to do with the game. He just does a terrific job of not taking chances and finding the open receiver.
3rd and short. 3rd and a yard to go. Just inside 8 minutes. Going to try to pass for it. Knocked away at the end and picked off. It's Daniel Manning. The ball's deflected right into the arms of the 2nd-year player out of Abilene Christian. Charles Tillman tipped it. Able to only convert that to 3 points in the game. It's Benson. Wide open running lane to the 41. Devin Hester threw a big block for him.
He did, but this interception, Jim, this is what's going to save the game for the Bears. Charles Tillman, the football looked like it was going to be overthrown when he first let it go. And then Charles Tillman, at the last second, sticks his right hand up in there and deflects it to Daniel Manning, and it goes back to what we've said a few times. The overlooked guys in that Chicago defense. Tillman, Nathan Vasher. You can play pressure defense when your corners can hold up, just like Charles Tillman did.
His first down carry again. Benson written down for a loss. Vasher and Tillman both given new contracts in the offseason, as well as head coach Lovie Smith and Jerry Angelo in the offseason for the Bears. But they locked up those 2 corners.
Well, I can see why. They've really hit big on both of them. Nathan Vasher, a 4th-round draft pick, and it just turned out to be a excellent corner in this league. And Charles Tillman, that time, as I've said, I've watched them 4 games. Every time they put them in a tough situation, they've come through.
The last one lost a yard. 2nd and 11. 6.5 remaining. Grossman with a flag down. And one of the Chiefs, that's Boone, pointing to his old teammate across the way, Fred Miller.
A lot of confidence, feeling good, and it's unraveled here late in the second half.
With a jumpy where the Chiefs. Grossman tosses it sideline, burying at the 40.
Was playing coach there for a minute, and he was making the decision, and he was wrong.
Okay. So it's up 3rd and long.
Here comes the blitz.
Grossman unloads. And that won't be nearly enough for any first down consideration. Rasheed Davis. And they're booing.
Well, you know, you shouldn't, because what they did, they kept the clock moving.
Well, the Chiefs have had their chances today. One last gasp here from the 33. No chance for Heward as Urlacher comes busting through for the blitz and the sack. A loss of 6.
They do not play it safe, the Chicago Bears. Bob Babbitt's new defensive coordinator. He goes, I got a lot of good players. No use sitting back. Let's make it happen.
That's Heward over to Gonzalez. Taken out at the 33. That sack by Urlacher is his first sack since the 2005 season. He did not have a single sack all of last year.
Wow, look how much he's airborne. And you know, Jim, it's going to change. He didn't get sacks because they always needed him in pass coverage. But you can already tell after 2 games, this Bear defense is going to change from what we've seen. So Brian Urlacher is going to be lurking around that line of scrimmage and going after the quarterback a little more.
3rd down and 10. Review for Heward. Flag is down. It's Gonzalez with Manning trying to take the ball away.
Unit to take over. How about that? The Bears defense.
Oh, and the Bears defense comes crashing in again. It's Tommy Harris.
What's made them so good in years past is they don't have to bring extra people to get to the quarterback. 4 defensive linemen, that's all there is. They're all capable of getting to the quarterback. That time it was Tommy Harris.
Lovie Smith's first ever draft pick at Chicago. Tommy Harris with the sack. Any more theatrics on the way from Hester? Able to shake off one.
Oh, boy.
Now looking for another angle on the sideline and makes the big run all the way to the Kansas City 48. A 24-yard return following a 52-yard punt. What a game changer.
You pin him against the sideline.
Look who's cheering him on.
Oh, man. I tell you, the punt was perfect. He caught it 1 foot from going out of bounds.
Stay on the ground this time. Benson able to get through a tiny crease to about the 44 in passing yardage.
Hey, you know, Boomer could, I'll give him that. He could throw it.
Absolutely. Benson. And again, it was clogged up quickly.
I'll give him that. He could throw it.
John Sinclair. 3rd and 8. We're going up top. Grossman looking for someone, and there is no one around. So out of bounds with it. He goes. Rush coming in at the end by James Reed. Got Croyle in the game here. Brody Croyle is in for Heward.
Well, it makes sense. Damon Heward is beat up and probably just can't go any longer. Brody Croyle, bigger arm, chance to find a quick strike.
If he gets any time, and there's a flag down. That pocket closed in pretty quick, didn't it?
Wow.
The face mask of the quarterback, returning his head, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
Boy, Tommy Harris, just like last week, just tremendous penetration in the run game and the pass game, and he was double teamed by Larry Johnson. Didn't matter, he ran right through them both.
What do they call that? A welcome to the NFL moment?
Yeah,
Brody Croyle going to be standing back there like raw meat and hand it off. And that's Anderson coming in so quick on Michael Bennett. And a loss of 2. This Bears defense holding Larry Johnson to 55 yards on 16 carries. Bennett backing him up, 7 carries, 14 yards. Croyle gets the pass away, and that's Parker stepping out near the 39. He picks up 10.
Well, you know, listen, this game is far from over. What you want to do is just give yourself a chance at kicking a field goal with some time left on the clock so you can onside kick and at least get a couple throws in the end zone. Of course, the best scenario would be to score a touchdown on this drive.
Croyle got a little one-on-one action going, and that's Webb coming under it. That pass was perfect. Charles Tillman on the coverage.
Yeah, Charles Tillman, Jim, looked back like he thought the ball was gone or expected it short.
Goes for 33 yards. And a quick hit by Urlacher as Bennett makes the 5-yard grab. They made the quarterback change. This is from the Chiefs because Heward had the wind knocked out of him. He's back to Bennett. Bennett with a nice piece of running, but the ball comes out. Is he down? That's Briggs on the recovery. Chicago football. Bennett making that last extra move, and it cost him. Definitely a fumble.
Charles Tillman with the last hit that knocks it out. You've got to know when you get in this against a team this good, they converge to the football so much. You've got to protect it once the first hit comes. Man, that was a nice drive by the Chiefs and a really good start for Brody Croyle.
It got some attention, didn't it? And will this week, no doubt. As Benson adds to his numbers. It's a 15-yard run, and Benson has a 100-yard effort. Our director is Bob Matina, and the coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. Videotape producer of today's game, Pete Radovich Jr. Associate directors, Corey Fishman, Andy Friedman. Broadcast associates, Alex Birchie, Mike Friedman. Technical manager, Pete Callander. Technical director, Jonas Einstein. Audio supervisor, Ed Soltis. Ethan Cooperson, another Chicago man in the booth, keeping us up to date on all the stats. Kevin McHale keeping things going here in the booth, managing the scene. Editorial consultant, Tommy Spencer.